Yo, what up YouTube? This is gonna be my first tutorial and we're gonna be doing a mid fade today. Since I'm not lining up the C cup on this mid fade, I will be starting at the temple peak point and keeping consistent all the way around, having a slight drop towards the back. That way I can have a little bit more space to fade in the back, since the back sometimes is a little bit harder to fade. And like I said, we're going to keep this line consistent all the way around. And then we're going to hit it with the shaver, giving the fade a pop, adding some longevity to the haircut. And that way it can last a little bit longer. Usually I like to give myself just a little bit of space in between my guideline and my shaver. That way I can go back with the trimmer and take out that line that's left over with my shaver. And now I'm starting my first guideline with my magic clips all the way open, going about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. And the way that I like to take that line out is by closing my clipper all the way and then putting it halfway and then 1/4 of the way. And that'll take out that line easily. Check it out, that line's pretty much gone. And you always want to go back and just detail it slightly. Whatever you see, any dark spots, just detail it, play with your lever. Oh, and here I'm also hitting it with a trimmer to remove that line left by the shaver. And what I do next is I make another guideline with my 1 guard closed, going about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. And now I slap on my 1/2 guard, going 3/4 of the way. And then I like to move it down halfway and all the way close to remove that line. And the reason why I do 3/4 of the way and not all the way open is because my 1 guard close is equivalent to my 0 guard all the way open. So there's no point really in opening it all the way. And if there's any spots, then I like to go back, take the 0 guard off and, detail it. And right here, I'm doing a 2 closed. Yeah, I'm doing a 2 closed and just removing some of that bulk from the top, or fading into that bulk, going straight up. And now I'll throw on my 1.5 guard, going right under that 2 guard closed. My 1.5 guard is all the way open. And from being all the way open, I like to close it all the way. I don't really go open, halfway close at this point. I just go from open to close, straight to close. And again, going straight up with it. And now I'll grab my 1 guard and I'll go all the way open, fading right under my 1.5 closed. And I like to go open, middle close with my 1 guard, keeping that open, middle close pretty tight, pretty close under each other. Since I am fading down, you want to stack it up. And then I'll remove these dark spots with my 1/2 guard. Again, open, middle close, 3/4 of the way. You really gotta play with your lever at this point. Whatever you see, any dark spots, just play with your lever. And right now I just use my 1.5 just to remove some bulk from that front area. That way when I line it up, it can be a sharp line, because you don't really want to have long hairs on that line, or else you will not achieve a crispy lineup. You want to keep this line pretty natural, but also sharp. So you gotta find that balance. And usually with most of my clients, I like to line up the bars first instead of doing that whole corner. But since I know this client's hairline pretty well, I just go ahead and do that whole side, the front and the bars. But yeah, usually I like to line up the bars on one side and then on the other side, and at the end I will connect that right across, and that'll give me the best usually it'll be pretty symmetrical. And as you can see, I do like to use enhancements. It's not to cover up any mistakes or anything like that. It's really just to give it that pop, that sharp, darker look. And I do like to use my Black Ice Barber pencil. And what that does for me is it gives it that ash effect. So what I like to do is I grab my trimmer like I'm doing right now, and I kind of touch it up. I kind of blend it to give it that ash effect. And in my opinion, it gives it a dope look. So try it out. You might like it. So after you're done lining up the client, you do want to go back in the fade and just detail it, because whenever you line up the client, for some reason the imperfections just kind of show a little bit more. So it'll be easier for you to detail it after you're done with your system, after you're done lining it up. So whenever you're detailing a blend, you really want to use the corners of your blade. That way you're not making other unnecessary lines, and you're just targeting that one dark area you're trying to remove. So this is my fade after detailing, and as you can see, it's pretty blurry, so those details is what really brings your fade together. And on this side, I'll be using the same exact steps as the other side, so nothing changes, everything stays the same, the system remains the same regardless. And that's really how you achieve those real consistent haircuts, by having a system, sticking to it throughout the whole haircut. Any haircut, just stick with your system. And clearly I'm new to this YouTube thing. I keep getting on frame. I'm so caught up into my blend that I forget that I'm recording. So I apologize for that, but I'll try to work on it. So I've been cutting for a few years now, and throughout the time I've been switching fading styles and fading systems just to see what fading system suits me the most. And for me, this fading system that I'm using now is what helps me achieve the best blends. So check it out. This is a trick I like to use with my comb or my brush. And all I'm doing is I'm lining up the bar with a part of the client's eyebrow that's already lined up, and I'm going back and making sure that they're both even, and that way it ensures me that I have a symmetrical lineup. And like I said, it's all about the small details. So detailing the blend is what really what really sets you apart from other barbers and what takes your blends to a whole nother level. So detailing the fade is really important if you want to achieve those nice blends and you want to take your fades to the next level. And here I'm using my thinning shears, and I like to use my thinning shears to get rid of some dark spots and also to just line up the ridge a little bit. That way it won't be so dark at the top. So check it out, this is the final product, mid fade with the comb over. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this tutorial was helpful for some of y'all. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comment section. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. I'll be having another video here shortly. I'll be doing my take on the crop or the textured top, so y'all stay tuned for that. So thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Stay blessed.